Hey guys, Glenn here. I haven't done a video in a long time, but wanted to show something that I learned uh, fairly quickly after the update that LaLoon, PentaLaLoon or Quad LaLoon is a huge threat to Tunnel 9s and Tunnel 10 now. Like, it's all air. LaLoon is probably one of the strongest attack in Clash of Clans right now. And this war was a great example to demonstrate that. So I'm gonna show 4 attacks that I do, because they all are a little bit different and give you an idea of how LaLoon is working. And I didn't learn this myself. I sort of saw how the other guys are doing in this clan, and this is a pretty good clan. Notice how we demolished these guys with no Town Hall 11. They had one Town Hall 11, but they had also Town Hall 10 bases, and we demolished them. So I will begin by showing one of my first attacks, starting from the Town Hall 9, my Nelg. So this was a fresh hit. What I do is PentaLaLoon. I come up with wizard to create a funnel. Queen, king down. The king becomes like a tank. And then I drop my queen behind, and she will target the archer tower, mortar, and one of those exposed air defense. Meaning I only have to deal with 3 air defenses. Now notice I don't know what's in CC. I don't even lure it, and I just poison the crap out of whatever comes out of it. So you usually use double poison to take care of dragons. So notice how the baby dragon is trapped within the 2 poison spell because of the air defense that's there and the hound that it's targeting, and the baby dragon is gone. The LaLoon part, I actually really needed maybe 4 hounds because there was only 3 air defenses, but I have 5. So I believe I get away with 1 hound with full health, and I'm just pushing through clockwise. Notice I have pretty much all 18 balloons remaining. Maybe not 18, maybe like closer to 13, 14-ish. Can't tell. But just realize how quick this was and how easy it was to basically destroy a max Town Hall 9 base with my level 7 king and level 9 queen. So yeah, so this was a fresh hit too. I didn't know I was in the CC where the Teslas were, but yeah, I just destroyed that base real quick, and the guys here were impressed. But that's not all. I also do this one. Now this one was a little different. I noticed that the air defense and queen was exposed outside. So what I do for this one is same idea. 2 double poisons gonna come down for the CC when it comes out, but I'm going to invest 1 golem on the air defense and to target the queen. Now I start the attack with wizards funneling on the right, minions on the left with the balloon assisting to help create the funnel. I have 3 Valks invested to make sure that they kill the queen and destroy the air defense. And notice I have the hound come in from 3 o'clock. I have the loons coming in. I only have 3 hounds, 1 max hound from CC, because I know my balloons are going to get to the air defense fairly quickly, so I don't need 4 or 5 hounds for this raid. And I'm basically doing the same thing, working on it clockwise around the base. Just hasting, pushing my loons forward so that they're not too far away from the hound. Now at this point I know I have to start using my haste pretty quickly because I only have 1 hound left, which I do, and I believe I swag 1 heal. Now also notice that with this base there was nothing in the core. There was just mortars and the grounded expos. So now for Town Hall 9s it seems like grounded exposed, it's really going to hurt if the enemy's gonna use quad LaLoon or even 3 LaLoons. But yeah, that's another 3-star. Now, this is only like Town Hall 9 stuff, so it's not that impressive. But let's take a look at Town Hall 10 hits. So this was my first hit. I had scouts for both of these hits, which really helped, and I do agree that without knowing where things were, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So I start with the lightning. I take out one of the air defense because it's not level 8. I haste LaLoon, and the reason why I do this is because I'm trying to take out the archer tower and the wizard tower, which can be a threat to my LaLoons at the end of this pathing. And I don't bring poison to kill the baby dragon here because I felt necessary to get the hastes, which are going to help me push my LaLoons. So I actually do a king queen kill instead of using the poison for the baby dragon. Now the reason why I put the queen on the 3 o'clock is because I'm trying to trim away the defenses there by taking out one archer tower. I actually wanted the queen to go down and take out the mortar as well, but I don't. Now I send in all 5 hounds there. The reason for it is to tie up the inferno, because I'm not bringing a freeze in this attack. So I basically have 5 hounds tanking in front of my air defense, tanking for the air defense and inferno like throughout the whole raid. Notice how my balloons are barely being targeted because 4 or 5 hounds are flying around in front. And the reason why I don't get the 3-star in this attack is because I just crushed the base so hard that I have 4 hounds on popped, which is really bad calculation on my part. I should have used only 4 hounds and more loons, or I could have done a couple whiz for the cleanup, but I just run out of time because I have no pups and I have 4 hounds flying around. Yeah, so notice I don't have a high level queen with my this account, so a higher hero level could have maybe helped, but now one of our clan mates do copy my attack and does a better job of cleaning things, so he gets the 3-star right here. And here is my second hit with the Penta LaLoon. This one's a little bit different. I don't use double lightning. I actually use 1 freeze instead for the inferno later, and I just try to take care of all the air defenses with my LaLoon portion, my loon pathing. So what I do with this strategy for this base is I come in from 6 o'clock with 6 loons hasted, and that basically gets me 1 air defense and pulls the CC out for me. Notice again, I don't use a poison. I don't bring a poison for this. So now what I'm doing is I'm luring it here. Now this is the same idea. I'm going to oh no, I do bring 1 poison, sorry. So I do poison the wizards and dragon. I thought it would be a worthy investment to use just 1 poison instead of 2 poisons. And now I'm trimming away the side here, trying to get 1 archer tower and a couple of defenses on that side, because you'll see with the pathing of my LaLoon, I'm gonna go counterclockwise starting from 2 o'clock. Now this is a scouted base like I said earlier, so I knew where the Tesla and some traps were. So I'm pushing through. I got 2 Teslas, 1 air defense there with 4 balloons, and I'm basically tying up the inferno again, so I don't have to freeze the first inferno. And I have about like 20 loons coming on top of that inferno and expo and those other things. Now here's where it gets a little interesting. I did this with my Town Hall 9 attack as well, but what seems to be prevailing for getting the enemy queen, if you don't think your pups raised would get it, is to use 1 or 2 skeleton spells with the raid spell. Or without the raid spell can work too. What the skelly spells do is they both distract the queen, but also because the queen is hitting it, all the skellies that spawn there will target the queen only and will kill the queen. So I use 2 skelly spells and level 30 queen is dead. And basically at this point, I knew I crushed it because I have 3 hounds left still. I have a haste and a freeze for that last inferno. And basically it's cleanup from this point on. So one of the hounds pop, so I get more pups, which really helped. And notice that because of the queen walking, or bowler walking, people have been putting the air traps outside of the base, and that really helped me because my hounds basically had more life to work with and my balloons had more life. So this just goes to show, post update, LaLoon is crushing it. I hope everyone realizes this and experiment and practice LaLoon and loon pathing, because I believe it's going to be for the next few months the strongest offense, strongest way to 3-star Town Hall 10s and even maybe Town Hall 11s if the base is pretty crappy. Thanks for watching.